On a crisp autumn evening in the heart of New York City, amidst the towering skyscrapers and the bustling life below, one man sought an escape from his world of chaos. That man was Donald Trump, a figure known to all, whether for his business empire, his years in politics, or his ever-present spotlight in the media. But tonight, he wasn't looking for cameras or grand speeches. He wanted a quiet retreat, a rare moment to himself. Instead of heading to one of his many residences or private estates, Trump decided to stay at his own hotel, the iconic Trump Tower. It was a decision he hadn't made in years, and little did he know, it would set the stage for an unforgettable night. As he entered the grand lobby, the staff froze, their faces lighting up with surprise. Many had worked there for years, but had never seen their employer walk through those golden doors as a guest. "Good evening, Mr. Trump," came the respectful greetings. With a confident nod, he acknowledged their words but didn't linger. He wasn't there to soak up admiration or hold a meeting. He was there for something much simpler, a quiet night in the presidential suite. Trump stepped into the luxurious space, a room designed with his personal touch. The opulent decor shimmered in the dim light, the gold accents catching his eye. But even in such grandeur, Trump was drawn to one thing: the view. The city sprawled out before him, its glittering lights a reminder of the empire he had built. He poured himself a glass of Diet Coke, his signature drink, and settled into a plush armchair by the window. The day had been long, the kind of day that drained even someone as energetic as him. Slowly, the noise of the world faded away, and his eyelids grew heavy. He drifted into sleep, cradled by the quiet hum of the city below. Hours passed. The room was silent, but the faint murmur of voices stirred him awake. It wasn't in his suite, but just outside, in the hallway. Trump's sharp instincts, honed over decades of business and leadership, kicked in. He stayed still, listening carefully. The voices were low, almost a whisper, but distinct. "Can you believe he's actually staying here tonight?" a woman's voice said, full of disbelief. "I know," replied an older man. "The boss himself, right here in the building. Feels surreal, doesn't it?" Trump's ears perked up. They were talking about him. He leaned back, intrigued, and let the conversation unfold. The woman, Maria, was a young housekeeper. The man, Joe, was a maintenance worker with years of experience at the hotel. Both spoke with a mix of awe and frustration. "You think he even knows what it's like for people like us?" Maria asked. "I've been working double shifts for months just to send money home. And health insurance, don't even get me started on that." Joe sighed. "Tell me about it. I've been fixing pipes, painting walls, you name it, for 10 years now, and yet I'm still barely scraping by. Feels like they just see us as numbers." Their words weren't malicious, just honest. They were venting, sharing the struggles of the working class, unaware that the man they were speaking about was only a few feet away, listening intently. Trump sat in silence, their words echoing in his mind. He wasn't angry, he wasn't offended. Instead, he felt something unexpected: reflection. He had spent his life building towers, brands, and businesses, but in the process, had he forgotten the people who made it all possible, the ones who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, keeping everything running smoothly? It was a sobering thought, one he couldn't ignore. Trump stood, determination flashing in his eyes. Picking up the phone, he called his assistant, who was staying in another room. "Get the general manager and HR head in the conference room first thing tomorrow morning," he said firmly, "and make sure Maria and Joe are there too. I want to talk to them." The next morning, the atmosphere in the hotel was tense. The conference room buzzed with quiet murmurs. The general manager and HR director sat at the table, flanked by senior staff. At the far end, Maria and Joe sat nervously, unsure of why they had been summoned. Then Trump entered. The room fell silent. His presence was commanding, as always, but his expression was different. Calm, focused. He took a seat at the head of the table and surveyed the group. "I overheard a conversation last night," he began, his voice steady. "Two of my employees, Maria and Joe, were talking about their experiences working here, and I have to say, what I heard didn't sit well with me." Maria's face paled. Joe looked down, his hands fidgeting. "Relax," Trump said, holding up a hand. "You're not in trouble. In fact, I'm grateful for your honesty. It opened my eyes to something I've been ignoring." He paused, letting his words sink in. "I've built this brand on luxury and excellence," he continued, "but I realize I haven't been paying enough attention to the people who make it all possible. That's going to change, starting today." Over the next hour, Trump unveiled a plan to improve working conditions at the hotel. He announced raises for all employees, expanded health benefits, and a new scholarship program for workers and their families. He also introduced an open-door policy, encouraging staff to voice their concerns directly. Turning to Maria, he said, "I heard you mention your family. Starting today, you'll receive additional support for childcare and education expenses." Maria's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Mr. Trump. I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything," Trump replied with a smile. "Just keep doing your job with the same dedication you always have." Then he turned to Joe. 10 years of loyalty and hard work doesn't go unnoticed. I'm promoting you to lead the maintenance team." Joe's jaw dropped. "I don't know how to thank you, sir." "Just keep leading by example," Trump said. The changes didn't stop there. Trump followed through on his promises, implementing reforms that rippled throughout the organization. Employees felt a renewed sense of pride, and the hotel's reputation soared. Guests noticed the difference too, praising the staff's enthusiasm and dedication. For Trump, the experience was transformative. He often reflected on that night, grateful for the chance to listen, learn, and grow. And for Maria and Joe, it was a life-changing moment, a reminder that even the quietest voices could make a powerful impact. In Trump's own words, sometimes it takes stepping into someone else's shoes to truly understand what it means to lead. Share your thought in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I pour my heart into crafting stories like this for you, and your support is the one helps me keep going. I appreciate having you on this journey,